96.5 KECO in Elk City, 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. It is either, you ready for this? It's either 27, 28, or 31.
Nathan, before you pretend to be the punter, you're going to have to change your jersey number. You can't wear the same jersey as the punter and then throw your touchdown pass on fourth down, pretending to punt.
What?
Like the University of Southern California did against Northwestern. Actually, they didn't flag it. USC had the ball, fourth down. Guy goes in acting like he's going to punt it because he's wearing number 80, the number of the punter.
Well, that's the first problem. Punter's number 80.
He's the third string quarterback. And so the guy throws, instead of punting, he throws the ball, picks up a first down, and now Northwestern and other people are upset about it.
Well, they should be, because that's not fair.
Well, according to Lincoln Riley, this was the third game in a row that the fake punter had been assigned number 80. So I guess everybody just needs to deal with it. If you can't deal, you need to deal.
Landry, it's either 27 degrees, 28 degrees, or 31 degrees, depending on which source of information I look at.
Nathan, Pete Thamel said, here's the Big Ten statement on the USC fake punt caper. It should have been a penalty as two players playing the same position may not wear the same number. Two players playing the same, or two punters at number 80. This is the biggest scandal since OU football walk-off gate early in the season against, who was that? Auburn?
But they actually asked the refs about that one. They did try to get...
I think USC should send, everybody that's in on the field should wear number 80. See if anybody notices. They're all punters. It's crazy.
Hey, Landry, it's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts in Elk City, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. And their kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts, 1926 West 3rd in Elk City. Fresh, local, delicious. Open 7 days a week, 5 a to 1 p. 580-243-9626. Don't dread Mondays. Do not worry. Be happy at SK Donuts. It's love at first bite.
Deep, 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 don't.
96.5 KECO, the early morning show. Nathan and Landry, and there you go. Text us at 225-9697. Somebody texted us a picture. Occasionally, I will mention our ambient weather machine that I have here at the radio station in front of me that I'm looking right at.
Right.
Someone has one of their own at their home, and they have sent me a picture, and I don't know where this person lives. Well, wherever it is, it was allegedly 23.7 degrees. Allegedly. Man, you are working those thumbs faster than any human I have ever seen. That is amazing. We're in a freeze warning until 9 this morning.
The people who parked outside overnight are going to have to warm up their vehicles. They may have to scrape some ice or at least turn on the defrost.
Well, that's about 90% of America, because even though 70% of America have garages, 90% of Americans don't use them for their vehicles. They use them for their boxes of stuff.
Nathan, yesterday.
Totes and boxes, Landry.
Yesterday, I saw something that makes me laugh as I think about it. I didn't even fully appreciate it then, but I appreciate it now. I was driving home from an afternoon visit, and I passed a house in the neighborhood, and the garage door was open, and there was a vehicle. One vehicle parked in the middle.
Right.
And on both sides, there were boxes stacked from floor to ceiling.
Makes you wonder if the person can actually get in and out of the vehicle. We squeezed her in. We're so proud of ourselves.
Which, that's progress, getting at least one vehicle in the garage. But no kidding, there were boxes. I don't know how they got
crowding. Seems dangerous, to be sitting in your car and nearly have an avalanche of cardboard and totes come on you as you open up the door to get out. What if before you ever, and I mean ever, what if before ever you needed those hoses, you called Bobby Maddox at American Hose and Supply, and you said, Bobby, give me those hoses and fittings out here pronto. And he said, yes, sir. 303-1123, 303-1123 inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Let me give you some more. Paragon TV basketball is here. Here's what's coming up on ParagonTV.com tomorrow. Arapahoe Butler at Fort Cobb. Leedy at Commute. Hammond at Lukiba Sickles. Sweetwater at Eric. That's tomorrow. Game times at 6:30, ParagonTV.com.
Speaking of ball, I guess you know, Nathan, they won the football game Friday night.
Who did?
The team.
Which one?
I know Elk City won. And I'm told that may mean that the Big Elks might be in the playoffs now.
Yes, maybe.
Which I presume start this week.
Well, yeah.
I guess, are the games on Wednesday? They were on Thursday, but moved them back so everybody can get ready for the flea market or the rodeo.
Because it's going to be too hot on Friday.
Yeah.
It could be 80 degrees on Friday.
We need to call timeout. We need to flag this weather. Here we are almost, by the end of the week, we're in the middle of November. We are knocking on Thanksgiving's front door, and it's going to be near 80 degrees.
Yeah, I cannot support that.
That is outrageous.
No, sir.
Outrageous and preposterous.
See, I'm trying to allow, with this freezing temperature, I'm trying to allow my allergies to settle.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I'm trying for. But let me tell you something. If we spike the temperature, forget about it.
Well, gloriously, the grass is dying. And that is amazingly wonderful because then you don't have to mow anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to run a mower over at least a part of my yard.
Oh, that's annoying.
There's one strip. And, if I was a lesser citizen, I would just ignore it. If I were unconcerned about life
And liberty?
and the pursuit of short grass, I would not care at all.
Where are you on leaves in your yard?
I wait. I have.
No, do you have them?
Oh, I've got them. They're falling. I have gigantic maple leaves. And listeners, if you have a maple leaf tree, if you have a maple tree in your neighborhood, those leaves fall. And they are huge. And they pile up. And they pile up in my backyard against my north fence. And so what I'm going to have to do is once all the leaves have fallen, I will take the mower out, and I will run over the leaves, and I'll just crunch them up.
Get them in the bag?
No, I just mulch them. Back in the soil.
But do they actually go into the soil or just lay on top?
They're just tiny. Oh, yeah, tiny.
Well,
they get in there, buddy.
I don't know. Wait, are you really ready to get out and get after it?
Oh,
because it seems like you are.
I get it done. Do you have maple trees in your hood?
I got trees with leaves that wind up in. Of course, one of them is my own tree in the front yard. Here's the frustrating thing about that tree. In the springtime, it is the last tree in the neighborhood to put on leaves. I don't know why, but in the fall, it is the first tree to shed them. And I'm here to tell you, by this Saturday, there's a decent chance. If we have some wind this week, there's a decent chance by this Saturday it'll be bare.
I have noticed some lovely foliage.
I have too, but
they'll be gone in a week.
My tree could be lovely, but it won't last. No kidding. It's already at least halfway gone, and by Saturday, it could very well be 100%.
There is a row of trees in front of the Sayre Western Technology Center campus. Last week, one was red and one was orange, and they were just beautiful. 96.5
KECO's The Early Morning Show. Text us at 225-9697. Nice and cool this morning. What's your temperature? Text us and let us know. It's either 27, 28, or 31 here. Not sure. You ever look at a price and think, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
See, Atwood's is already doing some of their Black Friday specials now, Black Friday prices now and some things. And this information is in the Penny News that came out last week. Anyway, I'm looking through this information, and I see a Sagebrush Trail Scout knife, pocket knife. Usually $34.99. Okay? Right now, $9.99. Can believe that.
Wow.
I'm not good at math, but that's like an 80% discount.
That is a big discount.
That seems like big savings to me. $34.99 is the usual price right now. $9.99 Sagebrush Trail Scout knife. That's Atwood's Ranch and Home Goods. This information inside the last Penny News that came out. You have an uncle who is rooting for you to have a big retirement. He's just excited about it because he's waiting to get a big chunk of it. It's your crazy Uncle Sam. Want to keep that uncle out of your retirement? Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton, block and a half south of Homeland. The website, retirewithbaca.com. From the text line, 25 degrees, 2 miles west of Hammond. 25 degrees, 2 miles west of Hammond. And there you had it. Landry, here we go. Are you ready?
Sure.
I don't think you are, Landry. Oh, fart. I don't think you are, but you're about to get ready. It's called Weekend Movie Review. I'm going to make it quick for me. Friday night.
That's good, because I'm going to go real slow.
Friday night, I did not watch a movie. I watched Leanne Morgan's latest special on Netflix called Unspeakable Things. It was funny because she's funny. And then Saturday, I watched 3 Christmas movies. Broadcasting Christmas, Poinsettias for Christmas, and A California Christmas. And then yesterday, I watched 2 more, Christmas Inheritance and A Very Country Christmas. Go.
Was Poinsettias for Christmas, was that Lacey Shimmer?
No. That was Bouduc.
Oh, that was, yeah. Okay, yeah. And are they any good?
I mean, I was glad I watched all of them.
Oh, there was Poinsettias for Christmas, A Christmas Memory, and Taffy at Christmas.
Broadcasting Christmas, Poinsettias for Christmas, A California Christmas, Christmas Inheritance, and A Very Country Christmas.
What was Broadcasting Christmas?
That was the Dean Cain and Melissa Joan Hart.
Radio, TV?
TV. They are TV. They're vying for the same morning show. And they used to work together, used to date. And then he left for New York, and she'd stayed behind in Connecticut. But now, Rise and Shine, the morning show, hosted by Jack A. They need a new co-host. And so they're both vying for the job. And so they go for it, but also fall in love again. All right, what'd you watch this weekend?
Friday night, I watched The Christmas Contract with Hillary Burton, who played Sarah Ellis from White Collar. And I really like that. Cheryl Ladd played the mother. And then her daughter, I knew this girl had to be a Ladd because she looked like her mother, had the same Botox. Jordan Ladd. She played the sister, I think a sister. Yeah, she played Hillary Burton's sister. And a guy named Robert Buckley, he played the male lead love interest. And they start in New York, I think, and then they wind up in Louisiana. And I was going to be disappointed when I found out they were going to Louisiana because I like the city, Christmas. I knew it was going to be wintry because, in Louisiana, it doesn't exactly snow a lot. But it was nice. And I didn't watch One Tree Hill, but this movie was apparently a One Tree Hill reunion. There were 4 or 5 or 6 cast members who had been in One Tree Hill.
I see.
That was Friday night. Saturday night was the rewatch of Meet Me Next Christmas with Christina Milian and Pentatonics, and it was fine. So Friday night, The Christmas Contract. Saturday night, Meet Me Next Christmas.
If we have time, I'll explain to the audience how I absolutely nearly gave myself a concussion Friday in the bathroom. My head still hurts from whanging. I whanged my head early Friday evening, and it was not fun.
It's the kind of thing we've all done.
The early morning show on KECO will be back any minute. If you love America, you won't change the station.
So there's a company out there that has a certain color. All the farmers and stuff think their oil has to be used in those certain color of tractors. And it's just not true. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. I use it at our place. My son uses it for our colored tractors that we have, and a lot of other farmers use it too. It's the same oil, specifications are the same. It's kind of a myth where they think that it's got to be that certain type of oil for that color of tractor. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Milk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil.
Here's a recipe for a fabulous Thanksgiving treat. Start with a low interest rate. Add the biggest selection of trucks in 5 years. Mix in big end-of-year rebates. Then stir it all together and you'll love the result. We all have a lot to be thankful for, but if you've done so well this year that Uncle Sam's mouth is watering, invest in yourself with a new pickup from Barbara Dyson Ford and keep your blessings at home. Online at barbaraDysonFord.net. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at Barbara Dyson Ford in Elk City.
We did the Veterans Monument in Oklahoma City. At the time we did it, they didn't want any names on it. They were just doing the different wars in bronze panels on granite. 20 years later, they decide they want all the veterans' names on the back of the monument. Well, there's no way to engrave it, so they wanted to put bronze names on there. And we said, you can't, that won't work well. They ended up finding someone that would put the bronze names on there, and then they started kind of popping off and everything. So then they called us to go in and see how we could clad it and get the names on it after the fact. So there's just things that come up in the granite industry where you have to investigate and figure out how to fix it or create it. Some things you just won't do, but there's projects that are nice out there that not everybody will have a hand in, will want to have a hand. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
Briley Bacca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Every dollar you save for retirement has a silent partner, and it's your crazy Uncle Sam. He's waiting with his hand out, ready to take a chunk of your IRA, your 401k, and even your Social Security if you're not careful. But here's the truth. You can fight back. With the right strategy, you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket and out of Washington's. At Advanced Financial Strategies, we specialize in family wealth management, helping families in western Oklahoma cut down on future tax bills, maximize income, and keep control of their financial future. Don't wait for the IRS to decide how much of your retirement you get to keep. Call me, Briley Bacca, a certified financial planner professional here in Clinton, at 323-6800 or visit our website, retirewithbacca.com. Advanced Financial Strategies, your money, your future, your choice.
Restaurants and feedlots, coffee shops and cafes, grocery stores and convenience stores. The Penny News is there, waiting for you to take it home.
Nathan and Landry Brewer are so talented, we're thinking about actually paying them to do this gig.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's good.
How come?
The early morning show continues right now.
Uh-huh.
22 minutes after 7, 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. Nathan, Landry, and you. It's either 27, 28, or 31 degrees. Skies clear. Winter freeze warning from now till 9. High this afternoon in the 50s. Your weather and a few more. After that, Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. After that, Jared Atha with local award-winning news. After a busy spring and summer, you're ready to put the tractor up, Landry. I know you. You want to put the tractor up. Before you do, get all the maintenance done. Do all the maintenance thanks to Camrock Supply via Camrock Supply. With the help of Camrock Supply, get all your tractor maintenance done so that next spring it just spins like a top.
Nathan, you were asking me about it before the show, and yes, you can still get the signature shower with the free toilet. So now you know.
Okay, Landry, I had a musical selection pulled up. I would like for you to please start playing it right now.
And go. There it is. What is the FCC pause? The delay? Is it
going?
It's going. It's playing. Yeah.
Man. It took a while, but I think the payoff was worth it.
Nathan, it's not about the payoffs. It's about the playoffs.
People.
Has it already been that long?
50 years ago today. 50 years ago today, a ship. 50 years ago today, the ship, the Edmund Fitzgerald, sank in Lake Superior. Now, this is the kind of thing we're not very familiar with down here because we're landlocked. We don't have shipping. And it's weird to think, it is strange for me sometimes to think that in the United States, we have a body of water within the United States, it borders Canada, but we have a body of water that is so large that ships can sink. And I mean, people die. But those Great Lakes are great. They are big, especially Superior. And 50 years ago today, a ship was on its way from somewhere to somewhere carrying 26,000 tons of iron ore. And a big storm came up. It was November, and they have those big storms in November with like 100-mile-an-hour winds, something like that. 60-foot waves were battering the ship, reportedly. And a ship called the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, and there were 29 crew members who died. This was November 10th, 1975. Well, Gordon Lightfoot, a Canadian singer, much more familiar with this sort of thing, heard the story about what happened, and it just stuck with him and stuck with him and stuck with him. And he decided to write a song, and he was concerned at first. He didn't want to be disrespectful or seem to be making profiteering off of a tragedy. But his band members and people convinced him, no, go ahead and do the song. And this song we're listening to, it's called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, was released in 1976, the next year, and it was the number 2 song of that year behind a Rod Stewart song. It was the second most popular song of 1976, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Canadian Gordon Lightfoot. And Landry and I grew up hearing this song because our dad was a fan of Gordon Lightfoot and a fan of this song. So when we were like 8 or 10 years old, we heard it for the first time. And remember, we thought it was so cool.
Messed me up.
We thought it was so cool because it doesn't really have a chorus. And it's telling a story, and it sounds just kind of funky and ominous.
And it doesn't rhyme much either, but it does tell a story.
When his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
My son says there's been a lot of stuff on Instagram about social media coming up about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, even an episode of Seinfeld, they mentioned it.
Yeah.
Elaine mentioned, what was it? Jerry mentioned Edmund Fitzgerald. And Elaine said, I love his music.
And then somebody said, no, that was the name of the boat, Edmund Fitzgerald. The singer was Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, it was ran by the cat, Steve. And then Roy Firestone, who I think is still alive, used to host Mazda Sports Look, was talking about, he was on somebody else's show, I think, and he's something of a singer. He was talking about people you don't want singing the national anthem, and he said, like, Gordon Lightfoot. Can you just imagine Gordon Lightfoot singing, Jose, can you see by the dawn's early light? Referencing this song.
Right?
Right?
Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen.
50 years ago today, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior.
Takes in what Lake Erie can
It cost 29 lives.
The iron boats go as the mariners all know. With the gales of November, remember.
November, remember, Landry. That rhymes.
Is he the first one to say it's a November to remember?
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead.
Oh, that rhymed.
When the winds of November come early.
How long does this song last?
About a 6-minute song.
It is a 6-minute song.
Let me tell you something, Landry. It was the number 2 song of 1976, the year we were born. I'll tell you that. I'll just tell you that.
Wasn't this the Gerald Ford campaign song?
In Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Did you read that story I sent you yesterday about this?
Superior, they say.
No, I didn't know there was a story. I thought you were just sending me the song.
No, it was a story.
Well, I believe you.
But did you?
Huh. blobby dog.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
usually means
It's a story.
A story.
Gordon Lightfoot actually stayed in contact with some of the families, and the families actually really appreciate the song. They're thankful for it because it helps commemorate those that they lost. 50 years ago today, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Nathan, Landry, and you. No one was more surprised than Gordon Lightfoot when his ballad, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, became one of the biggest hits of 1976, less than a year after the disaster it commemorates. Blah, 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 blah. The success of the song elevated the Edmund Fitzgerald's place in popular history. But the tragedy itself, and I didn't know this, the tragedy itself was hardly unique. Quote, from 1875 to 1975, okay, in that 100-year period, there were at least 6,000 commercial shipwrecks on the bottom of the Great Lakes. So you take all the lakes and combine them. So that is one shipwreck a week, every week for a century. That is one casualty every day for a century. While shipwrecks may have been common, the Edmund Fitzgerald was not. Named, ironically, for the president of the insurance company that paid for its construction. The freighter has been described as a freshwater Titanic. It was, in fact, the greatest ship on the Great Lakes when it was launched in Detroit in 1958. 15,000 people came out to see the launching. When it went through the Sioux Locks or Detroit or Duluth, people would wait half a day to see the ship come through. It was a rock star. Great Lakes maritime trade first took off in the 1770s as wealthy Europeans clamored for luxurious beaver pelts. 2 centuries later, hundreds of long ships crowded the 5 inland seas carrying lumber, limestone, copper, cars, crops, and iron from Canada and the Midwest down the St. Lawrence Seaway that eventually leads to the Atlantic. The Edmund Fitzgerald was loaded with 26,000 tons of pellets containing iron ore when it sank. To slip through the narrow Sioux Locks, the ships are only 75 feet wide. Quote, that's less than the space from home plate to first base. What's the problem with that? They can't handle rough seas. And the Great Lakes do get rougher over the winter, even more so than the ocean. When Gordon Lightfoot read news accounts of the tragedy, it didn't feel far away. He was an experienced Great Lakes sailor who knew those waters really well. He kept noodling with a ballad about the disaster during breaks while recording his album Summertime Dream in 1976. His bandmates and a studio engineer eventually talked Lightfoot into trying it out. Blah, 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 blah. That's how blah, blah, blah. Today, Lightfoot's song is treasured by the families of sailors who died. The singer became close to these families and attended their reunions to commemorate the tragedy. And he established a scholarship fund at the Great Lakes Maritime Academy, which lost a cadet and an alumnus when the freighter sank. Quote, on many occasions, cadets had an opportunity to meet him when Lightfoot performed in the area. Let me see. Oh, well, listen to this. Ultimately, according to author John Bacon, the actual wreck, not the song, but the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald helped change safety standards. There has not been a single major commercial shipwreck on the Great Lakes for the last 50 years. 50 years ago today, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. I'm Nathan Brewer. Coming up, Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning will be here to let us know what went on in the world of law enforcement. We got Jared Eighth with local news. We got your weather breakdown coming up as well. You and I have a lot to be thankful for. We're Americans. We're alive. We have many blessings at our disposal. Let me ask you something. Have you done really well this year? If so, Uncle Sam is getting pretty excited about the end of the year and you filing your tax return. Well, you may need to invest in yourself with a new pickup at Barber Dyson Ford. Keep your blessings at home. Online, barberdysonford.net. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from everyone at Barber Dyson Ford in Oak City. That's coming up. We'll do that later. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Do you have the latest penny news? I hope so. Looking for a route driver for the Penny News in the Yukon El Reno Mustang area. What else is here? Oh, I told you about some of the Atwood stuff, right? They've got their Black Friday stuff rocking and rolling now. Do you need a vehicle? We got vehicles in the Penny News. Do you need a job? We have jobs. Are you excited about estate sales? We have estate sales. What about auctions? Anybody like auctions? Man, we got a bunch of auctions there. What else do we have? Ag equipment. Any ag producers? Get a copy of the Penny News. Take a look. Got trailers here. Got Beckham County land for 350 acres of Beckham County for sale. That's on the back page. We got trailers here. Got a hay feed wagon, a 2022 Road Boss equipment trailer, a GR 16-foot gooseneck halftop, Diamond W and W&W portable corrals, new and used in stock. Back page of the Penny News. Take a look. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. It is about 30. It's either 27, 28, or 32. Freeze morning until 9. Your weather coming up.
You may not realize it, but you're listening to the only thing on KECO right now. Nathan and Landry Brewer on the Early Morning Show.
Are you ready to look and feel your best? Head on over to Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics and come see me, Dr. Jamie Cameron. We have specials going on right now through the end of November. Get Botox for just $10 a unit, or take $100 off each syringe of cheek or lip filler. Get a lip flip for only $40.
Aging is inevitable, but we can help you minimize the effects without looking like some bad plastic surgery patient. We can help you get back to the best version of yourself.
While you're here, help make a difference this Christmas. Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics is collecting toys for local kids in need. Things like coloring books, puzzles, dolls, or stuffed animals.
I'm Dr. Jamie Cameron, Southwest Dentistry and Cosmetics in Weatherford.
On the corner of Main and Washington,
swdentalok.com.
The way a doctor knows the human body, that's how you know trucks. You hear a rattle, a rumble, a vibration, and you know exactly what's wrong. You're a diagnostic genius, the go-to for getting trucks running and keeping them tough and DOT compliant. You're a Mac Pro, a tech tool titan. With a wrench in your hand, there's nothing you can't fix. Canyon Oilfield Services is looking for you. Our Hinton, Oklahoma yard has 10 trucks ready for your expertise and a fleet of over 70 trucks waiting for your oversight. It's a big job for a big talent. Not every mechanic has what it takes, but you're different. You're a mechanical boss, and they call you Haas, and we need your expertise. You tell us what it'll take to get you on board and added to the team. We're ready to deal. Call 580-729-3297 to set up your interview. 580-729-3297. At Canyon Oilfield Services, the key word is service.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with the oilfield, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the oilfield, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Driving down 3rd Street in Elk City, you've seen all the beautiful work on the outside. Now it's time to see what they've done inside their new location. Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts has moved down the road right on time for the holidays. Take a look Friday and Saturday, November 14th and 15th, during their Christmas open house. Enjoy their famous wassail and other refreshments while you shop. In fact, Surf Bar will be there too. When you check out, you'll draw from a deck of cards for your discount. 20%, 30%, or 40% off. Sign up to win the big prizes. They always do big prizes at the Christmas open house. Take advantage of the hat bar. Etched cowgirl hats. Get started on your Christmas shopping. Grab the stocking stuffers. Freshen up your Christmas decor.
Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts Christmas Open House, Friday and Saturday, November 14th and 15th at their brand new location.
Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts, now located at 1503 West 3rd Street in Elk City.
Got problems? God can fix them. This is Pastor Andy Taylor inviting you to come as you are to Trinity Fellowship in Sayre.
Your morning dose of information returns right now. Let's get back to the early morning show on KECO.
20 away from the top, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Carter Electric, keep the lights on, keep the warmth. If you are heated at all with electricity, this would be a bad morning not to have your power, right? And it'll get colder this winter. If history's any indication, it might actually get colder in December and January and February. So just, be advised. You want to keep your heat, you want to keep your electricity, you want to keep your power. Carter Electric, 225-2447. Today, sunny, 55. It's going to feel very much like fall this afternoon. Sunny with a high of about 55. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15. Tonight, clear, 39. And then tomorrow, sunny and 74. So quite a rebound, about a 19-degree rise tomorrow. And then, now this concerns me, that Friday, we are going to get dangerously close to 80. Friday, it will be the 14th of November. We will be almost halfway through the month of November, and we're going to get close to 80. So if you're upset that it's 28, 29 degrees right now, take heart, because tomorrow's high will be 74, and we're going to be in the 70s through the rest of the week. And in fact, Friday, we're going to be close to 80 before a cool off again on the weekend. Right now on the back porch, it's clear. Skies are clear. Winds are light. Humidity 78%. And it is either, as I say, whether I look at my phone, my desktop, or this ambient weather machine, it's either 27, 28, or 32. Yeah, I know. Big disparity there. Go figure. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning is in the room. And congratulations on celebrating the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald with me.
Gordon Lightfoot. I'm proud to know that. I was also interested to find out that he wrote it the same year the wreck happened. I thought that was like an old wreck. I was fascinated.
I have to admit, I didn't know. I mean, I grew up hearing the song go back to the 80s. I remember hearing the song, and all through my childhood and teenage years and in my adulthood, I had no idea really when the wreck occurred until just recently.
I used to go around trying to sound like Gordon Lightfoot. It doesn't work when you're like 13.
No, it probably doesn't.
It doesn't.
Do you remember when that song was a big deal when it came out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It was on the AM radio all the time. Pretty sure KDS played it somewhere.
Oh, that's great.
Can I say that? Is that like
Sure. No, go right ahead. We welcome all radio. We welcome all radio here. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. I got 2 notices, I think, on my phone this past week on the Beckham County Sheriff's Office app. Something about a motorcycle chase.
Yeah, so we had that last weekend. We talked about that a little bit. Motorcycle chase through Sayre, and the guy drove it down the river. Tried to drive his motorcycle down the river, and then it laid over, and he took off on foot. So we searched that area for a while. Of course, very very thick underbrush, and it had gotten dark by then. We didn't have any luck finding him, but we had a pretty good idea who it was. Captain Brandon Sims, who initiated the pursuit, went and did some further investigation the next day or two after that, and gathered information and confirmed what we already suspected, who the individual was. It was Mr. Kirk that you saw the second post come out on our app. And so he went and had a judge sign a warrant for his arrest, so we're actively searching for him at this time. So he's outstanding at the moment. We've had a couple of leads on where he might be, but we're still looking for him. So if anybody knows his location or has seen him recently, we would appreciate a phone call to the Sheriff's Office.
In fact, I am looking at the Beckham County Sheriff's Office app right now, and you're right. There's this picture.
There's this picture. Yep.
Right. If you know the whereabouts, look at that. If you're looking at us right now,
watching your radio right now, you can see him holding.
If you're looking at us right now, there it is. This man is wanted. We'd like to know.
And if you don't have that app on your phone, you need to get it because we put out a lot of information like this pretty routinely. Beckham County Sheriff's app.
All right, you wanted to talk about burglaries. Are they on the rise?
I don't know about on the rise. We did have one reported this last week, and interestingly enough, it was a place that had been burglarized before. We do have suspects in that burglary, and we're working on that case right now, seeing if we can come up with enough information to make some arrests on that. It was just outside of Sayre at a farm location, and they broke into a barn and outbuilding there and got some equipment things out of the barn. So just again, always a good idea to don't make it easy on them. That's the biggest thing, and make sure things are locked up. And not that they won't break a lock or find a way to break in, but a lot of times these guys are thieves of opportunity. So I saw a show last night where that was a guy was looking for drug money, and he was walking down the street just shaking car handles, and that's very realistic.
Really?
Yeah, folks will just try what's easy. They're not wanting to get into a house with people in it or try to break in and make a bunch of noise trying to defeat a lock. So they're looking for the easy opportunities, and so just make sure you keep all your stuff locked up. If you've got game cameras out in the country, and we have cameras also that we use. If you've got an area where you think something's been tampered with, or if you have a place that's been hit before, or you've had a hard time protecting it, we will come out and put cameras on that location and gather that information, because usually if we solve one burglary, we solve several others.
Did you say this place had been burglarized before?
It had been hit. I can't remember how long ago in the past. It wasn't a long time ago, but yeah, they had gotten in and gotten a few things, and I don't know that this place was unlocked. I'm not saying that it was. I just know that that's typically if a place is locked, it's going to get bypassed a little more often than the ones that are just they can come in and pull the door open, or if it's got a kind of a flimsy lock on it.
So they really are looking for the easiest opportunities.
They really are, yeah. That's they're not wanting to get caught. They're wanting to be quick in and out and not have anybody see them or hear them. Breaking locks makes noise. Defeating a lock takes time, and so that's one way. And then the game cameras are getting so cheap now. If you've got property out in the country and you want to protect your stuff, the game cameras are cheap to do. They're easy to set up, and most of them now will notify. They're the old kind that have just the SIM card in it that you could go pull out every so often if something does happen. But a lot of the ones now that aren't very expensive they'll notify your phone when somebody shows up on them.
Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning's in the room. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. One of our listeners has a question. You may or may not know the answer to this. Why did the sirens go off the other night in Sayre?
I don't know. I didn't know they did.
I mean storm sirens? Or just or the sirens to an emergency vehicle?
I'll have to if it's storm sirens, I don't know the answer to that. If it was police sirens, of course ambulance and police we're running around quite often, so I'm not real sure what night or what the event might have been.
Yes, if it was an emergency responder, I'm going to go out on a limb and say there was an incident.
Yep.
Of some kind, somewhere.
There's always an incident somewhere.
By the way, one of our listeners says today is the 250th birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Marines.
Yeah. Hoorah.
Okay, there you go.
I don't do that right. I'm not a Marine, but I hear them say it.
Let's see. What is it? Is it hoorah? Hoorah! Like that?
I'm not going to try.
Hoorah.
I think
either way.
Something else.
Showing 22 to 24 degrees in Corn. 25 degrees 2 miles west of Hammond. Showing 22 to 24 degrees in Corn. And then somebody sent me a picture of their ambient weather machine at their home, and it was showing 23.7. You can text us your temperature.
I walked in humming Hello Country Bumpkin. How's the frost out on the pumpkin? And then you tell me it's going to be 80.
80 on Friday.
So I'm disappointed.
I'm very disappointed at that. All right, talk to me about this utility scam.
So yeah, there's a scam going around that's mentioned in one of our local utility companies, and it's just the normal scam where they try to get you to give them your contact information, your private information, your banking information, your account information, anything. The utility company is just like the sheriff's office. We're not going to usually call and try to do business with you over the phone. Matter of fact, I'll take the word usually out. We don't call and try to do business over the phone. Unless we're investigating a case and you're talking to one of our investigators there and we're trying to set up a meeting with you in person. But the utility company does not do that kind of stuff through the phone. They send you mail. You get that letter that says pay your bill, and that's how they do business. So we want to make sure everybody's aware. Don't be answering questions on the phone, giving out any of your information to somebody just because they say they're with one of the utility companies around here, because it's not them.
All right, I have a follow-up.
Okay.
It was Saturday night, 7 o'clock, the storm sirens.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to do some checking on that.
So there wasn't any tornadic activity
Not
that you
I'm
know
aware
of
no,
Saturday
not
night?
aware of. No, I think it may have been warm enough Saturday night, but I don't know. Right before the front came in. No, I'm not aware. I'll have to check into that.
All right. I think a week ago today we were talking about some training that your people were going through. You have a follow-up on that?
Yeah, so Tuesday and Wednesday we went through some, it's called laser training. It's law enforcement active shooter emergency response, and it's put on by a division of the Department of Public Safety, which is the School Security Institute. I've got information on the siren here when I get done with this.
Excellent.
Stand by. The School Security Institute, a trooper that I used to work with runs that, and I called him and said, hey, can we get this training out here? Because I've got several guys that need to go through it, and I think some of our local agencies would be interested in also attending it. And so they did. They brought out the instructors, all the equipment, and it's quite a complex deal. They bring out a lot of equipment, including the weapons, the simulated ammunition weapons. They bring out all kinds of, training aids, such as active shooter posters and victim posters, things where when you're running through the halls, they set them up and it looks like actual people in there and make targets out of those and that sort of thing. Then they set up all these scenarios, and they do a little bit of classroom training, do all the scenarios, and you run through. And then they have different things that they use to simulate gunfire and things like that as you move through the hallway, so that you're trained to actively seek the gunfire and run towards it, which is an important thing to train for, because it's just like everything else in law enforcement. You're going to perform how you train.
And I would think that is not a natural reaction. You hear gunfire, you're not naturally inclined to go toward it.
Your first reaction is kind of hunker down and see where it's coming from, but you don't have really the time to do that. So they push that training, and that's the sort of thing that officers need in order to have that already in their tool belt when an incident happens, instead of this being the first time they've ever experienced something like that. So it's valuable training to us. And then on the last day, the last afternoon, we had the Elk City EMR class, and that's emergency medical responder class that they teach now at the high school to some of the upperclassmen. They came and helped us and acted as role players, and they were very, very helpful and very, very impressive in their ability to up the level of the intensity of the scenarios, and we appreciate their help very much. And we got a lot of good feedback from them also. Some of them are looking at going into that medical field, and they said that actually participating in this, I know at least one or two of them talked about it, kind of cemented for them that this is something that I would like to do, is be involved in the emergency medical responder field. So I think it was beneficial to everybody all the way around.
What is your follow-up on the sirens?
So Captain Sims actually is the one that texted me this, Brandon Sims. He said it was just an accidental set-off of the button when they were actually trying to page out EMS to a call. So that's why the sirens went off. So
no threatening weather.
No emergency alert, just an accidental set-off. Those things happen.
I tell for you guys who were listening on Friday, you already know this. I was talking to Derek before we went on about John Currid, who came on with Sarah Hirschman from Western Technology Center last Friday. He's also a reserve deputy. Is that right?
Yep. John's a very good reserve deputy that works quite often on the weekends for us.
And he was talking about the simulator. Well, he was talking about the overall criminal justice class he teaches, but also the simulator that they've got. And you said you're familiar with that simulator.
I haven't got to use it yet, but we sent the undersheriff, Jeff Miller, went through the simulator training, train the trainer, I guess, or actually the instructor who can put the training on. He went through that training with Currid when they set it all up. And so he has some knowledge of it, and we have access to it through him and also through Currid. So we'll be using that quite often. I have a feeling we just needed to get this other training out of the way, and I'm actually looking forward to going through and training, because it's both, as you were told, I'm sure, when John was here, it's driving and scenario. So it's driving, shooting, less lethal, all of that stuff I think can be built into it, and we can develop our own scenarios. So we're excited about that.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning has been our special guest this morning. So training, utility scam, burglaries, motorcycle pursuit, and we know about the sirens. By the way, we got a thank you from the asker.
Yes, you're very welcome. And I wanted to say, too, we talked about this before the show on the air. John, when John heard me on the air talking about the scenario stuff at Votech, he was very impressed with the response they got back from all the people that had been listening to the show. So they were thanking me for the publicity. I'm like, hey, that was free, but I'll think about charging you next time. So they appreciated all the on-air time and glad to know that folks are out there listening to it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I've learned. Get it where you can, Derek.
Yep, absolutely.
Get it where you can. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning, always enjoyed talking to you on Mondays.
Thank you. Be safe.
5 away from the top. Jared wants to give you award-winning news on 96.5 FM KECO.
Good morning, sunny and 31. This is the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Atha. A Sayreman has been charged and is wanted in Beckham County after a pursuit on Monday night. According to the Beckham County Sheriff's Office, deputies attempted to stop a blue motorcycle in Sayre for traffic violations. The driver, later identified as being 38-year-old Rodney Lee Kirk, refused to pull over and led deputies on a pursuit through town, then eventually west of Sayre. According to the Sheriff's Office, the suspect turned into the Starvation Creek access to the river and tried to ride down the riverbed. The motorcycle wrecked, and the driver fled on foot. A felony arrest warrant has been issued for Kirk on complaints of eluding a police officer and reckless driving. Officials are asking anyone with information on Kirk's whereabouts that they should contact the Beckham County Sheriff's Office at 580-928-2121. Anonymous tips can also be submitted through the Beckham County Sheriff's Office mobile app. A Clifton man has been charged in Custer County District Court with felony stalking after police say he repeatedly attempted to contact a woman despite being formally warned to stop. According to court documents filed late last month, 47-year-old Malcolm Terrell Harvey is accused of making numerous phone and online video calls to the victim over several days in early October. Investigators allege that Harvey made 9 calls on October 2nd, 1 call on October 3rd, 2 calls on October 6th, and 2 calls on October 7th, all after a stalking warning letter had been served to him way back in September. The alleged harassment reportedly caused the victim to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested, according to filings. An affidavit says that after receiving complaints, police reviewed screenshots from the victim's phone showing repeated Google Meet call attempts from a Gmail account bearing Harvey's name and photo. A subsequent search warrant to Google confirmed the account's ownership and showed multiple outgoing calls to the victim's email and phone between October 2nd and the 7th. If convicted, Harvey faces up to 3 years in prison, a fine of up to $5,000, or both. In-state news, Tulsa City Councilors don't seem to be completely sold on Mayor Monroe Nichols' proposed tax increase. Oklahoma News Network's Michael Board has that.
Nichols wants to put a 0.7% tax hike proposal before Tulsa residents in February. He says it would bring in an additional $80 million into city coffers to cover day-to-day operations and other projects. In meetings yesterday, councilors raised questions regarding assurances that the money will go to where it's intended and with the timing of the issue. Council has to approve putting the issue on the ballot no later than their November 19th meeting in order to make the February 10th election date. Nichols wants the voting on that date, so council will be able to include the funds in next year's budget process.
These stories and more on our Facebook page and website. Sunny right now in 31. This has been the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Atha.
It's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. And their kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts on West 3rd Street in Elk City. Fresh, local, delicious. Don't dread Mondays? Do not worry. Be happy at SK Donuts. Open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Fence building or welding, John 6 will get her done. 6 Wire Company, 580-497-6213.
We couldn't find anyone better to put on the air during the commercial, so Nathan and Landry Brewer are back. The early morning show on KECO.
.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Well, I mean, they're getting right after it. Just a week ago today, Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts in Elk City moved into their new location. I mean, for business. They'd been moving for a week before that, but they opened for business in the new location a week ago. Well, this coming Friday and Saturday is their Christmas open house. I mean, they're flat getting after it this Friday and Saturday. Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts. They moved just down the road on West 3rd at Elk City. And it's going to be the big deal where when you check out Friday and Saturday, you'll draw a card. It'll be a 2, 3, or 4, and you get a discount. You can get wassail and other goodies while you shop, and then they're going to have, the sales, and it's time to get in there, and you can sign up for the gifts, too. Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts Christmas Open House this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Fox News, Exploring Energy, and more coming up on 96.5 KECO in Elk City.
John Deere working the field. That's what country sounds like. 96.5 KECO, Elk City.